There we go. All right. Good morning. My name is Morgan Simonette. I am the Director of Membership and External Affairs here at the Howard County Chamber. Thank you for participating today. We have a lot of great information that this is going to definitely be informational and really great for our new members and also members that are looking to get more involved. So first, we always want to thank our sponsors who support us throughout the year. We really couldn't do this without you. We also have our team from the chamber here today. We have Leonardo as well as Alex Sullivan, who, while you are through the membership and through the organization, you will basically be talking to all of us. Leonardo is our president and Alex is the membership specialist. We also have Lynn and Taylor from our team, which support us with events as well as our daily operations. But we're basically going to go over and we're going to do a brief welcome. We're also going to introduce all of our committee chairs. When I call your name, if you can just say your name, your business that you represent, also what chair you are the committee you are the chair of, and also how long you've been a member. I think that would be nice for everybody to know. And then we'll review our committees and do a little bit of questions and answers. So first, Angela, if you could go ahead and introduce yourself.
Good morning, everybody. Angela Balsamo. My husband and I in Coffee News, the little brown paper that you see out at restaurants and stuff. And I am honored to be co-chair of the Ambassador Committee this year with Flora Betro. And we have been members of the Chamber for almost 7 years now.
Next, we are going to have Pete from the membership.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Pete Mangione. I'm the general manager of Turf Valley Resort, and I co-chair the membership committee along with Blaine Schipler from PNC Bank. My family owns and operates Turf Valley, and we've been here since 1979 is when we purchased the property, and we have been members of the chamber since 1980. So what's that, 41 years. And it's been it's been a great experience for me. I've been on the board for the last 10 years, and as I said, it's been a great organization.
Thank you, Pete. All right, next we have Natalie. Oh, and you're on mute.
I've heard that statement so often. You're on mute. Good morning, everyone. My name is Natalie Wiley. I am the co-owner of Paragraph to Media. We are a marketing as well as web development company. We have been members of the chamber now. My eyes rolled up in my head because I can never truly remember how long we've been here, but it's definitely coming upon 9 years. It has to be. I forgot what the question was now that you asked.
Oh, no, that was it. That was great. You've been a member for almost 9 years. You had the marketing committee. We'll hear more about that as well. But no, that was perfect. Next, Cheryl, we got you.
Hi, good morning. My name is Cheryl Brown. I'm a co-chair of the Legislative Committee with Andrew Robinson, who's with Offutt Kerman. I'm a labor and employment attorney with Davis, Agnor, Rappaport, and Scowney. And I believe, I don't know exactly how long, but it has to be at least 100 years we've been a member. 100, I'll go with that. But we have the most exciting committee, so I'm looking forward to sharing information with you today.
All right, next we have Gina.
Good morning. I'm Gina Abate, President and CEO of Edwards Performance Solutions, and I chair the GovConnects Advisory Council. And I know we've been members the 7 years I've been with the company, and I am sure Steve had us as members most of the 24 years the company's been around. So I'll have to verify that.
All right, and Nick, you're up next.
Hi, good morning. My name is Nick Barrick. I'm a vice president with KCI Technologies. I lead the land development and wireless practices here at the company. I'm not sure how long KCI has been members. I know it's been quite a while. Personally, I've been involved with the chamber for the past 8 years and the last 6 years on the board of YPN. And again, I am the chair of the YPN, which is the Young Professionals Network.
Awesome. All right. And last but certainly not least, we have Flora.
Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be here this morning with all of you. So I'm Flora Betro, and I work with Target Marketing, who is a branding company. So we take care of all of your branding and logo needs. I have the privilege of currently working with Angela on the ambassador as a co-chair on the ambassador committee. I also, for the past couple years now, have been the chair for the signature event. And last year, because of COVID, I did co-chair the Jingle Mingle, our holiday event as well. I've been a member for many, many years. It's wonderful to hear how many people on this panel have been members for a long time. I believe it's probably close to 15, but one of the things that I do like to say is when my membership comes up, I don't even think about it. I just renew, and happy to be a member, very proud of our chamber. Thank you.
Thank you, Flora. Really appreciate it. All right. And moving on, basically this is going to be a how and why to get involved. So why join a committee? And I think that we're going to hear a little bit of this throughout the series today, just getting people's experiences and their feedback of how it's benefited them personally, but you get a lot of exposure. So when you're a committee, you have the opportunity to really get to meet a lot of different people, introduce yourself, your company. Your circle of influence is going to expand because you're going to work with the same group of people month by month. So this naturally becomes kind of your little unit within the chamber. So when you go to different events and when you see different people, you're going to be able to have this as a starting point and basically just kind of build those relationships outside of the chamber. So you guys basically have specific people you can reach out to for different needs. I mean, that's really what the chamber is about, is making those connections and using the resources at hand. So also you're going to see that you'll get more involved within the community, because as a chamber, we do hold all of our different events at community properties and community venues. So you'll definitely get to see that community aspect. You're first to hear updates. So I know personally at a lot of the ambassador update or meetings, as well as the membership meetings, you'll hear updates of what's coming up in the chamber. Your voice will be heard. You'll be able to give opinions and try to basically give your own experiences to help us be a better chamber and to be more beneficial to you as your organization grows. And if there's different content you want to hear, that's what we're here for, is really trying to make it the best for you and for your organization. So without talking too much, I'm going to go ahead and get started with the first committee that we'll go over. And Angela, if you will take it away and kind of give your personal experiences and touch base on all the different things that the ambassadors do.
Oh, thank you, Morgan. We're the fun committee, I like to think, and I think Flora would agree. She's laughing. Natalie's laughing too. Natalie is a past co-chair of this committee. Our goal is to make new members feel welcome. Even the most outgoing personality like myself can sometimes feel a little intimidated when you come into a room, and especially one of our larger events where there's 300, 400, 500 people in a room. It can be a little overwhelming. So we are here to help guide members through their first year with the chamber and beyond. There are so many different things that each business can get out of the chamber and maybe should get out of the chamber. And we're here to kind of navigate you through that path and point you in the right direction, help you find people who are good power partners for you and are going to help your business thrive, because that is the whole point of the chamber to begin with. So we meet once a month. Right now, we are doing Zoom meetings, but I hope to someday get back to being in person because I miss everybody. Our meetings are about an hour, but that's really for us just a wrap up of what's taken place over the last 30 days with each of us and where we're going for the next 30 days. So everyone is assigned different years to kind of touch base with and get them out of their shell. And we look at different events. We always make sure that there's enough ambassadors that are at everything. So you always have a friendly face. And that's, for me, the fun part of it. It's like going to a little kid's birthday party. You want to make sure everyone's having a really great time and making the connections that are going to make their membership valuable. And we are always looking for new members to join us. We have a bunch of open seats, and I know 5 doesn't seem like a lot, but that is a lot for us sometimes. And then we just ask that you stay in contact with the new members that you're assigned and encourage them sometimes forcefully to come out to stuff and break out of their shell so they can in turn introduce. And it's been an awesome experience. We've made a lot of really great friends, and I think we've done a lot of good outreach for the community and for the chamber. And we're kind of like that first line of defense. So if you like being on the front lines of getting involved, our committee is where it's at.
Thank you, Angela. That's awesome. I'm just going to make a couple of specific notes as well, kind of delving into the 5 spots. This is a committee where we really do prefer to have a seasoned member get involved, in the sense of we'd prefer you to at least have been a member for a year. So you've gotten to experience the events throughout that year timeframe. So you really get an idea of what is what and kind of who does what within the organization, because it does take you a little bit of time to kind of understand the different ins and outs of the chamber. So I just wanted to make that note. And then Angela also did a great job touching on the event involvement. We do love our ambassadors to volunteer and participate in events. So that is why the time commitment is probably that 2 to 3 hours per month, because if you can make it, we'd like you to at least attend one event a month, whether that be virtual or in person, which we're slowly integrating back in person, slowly but surely. But thank you so much. And next, we are going to have our membership committee with Pete.
Okay, sure. Good morning again. The membership committee meets monthly. We typically meet the 3rd Thursday of the month at 8:30. Our meetings are anywhere from 45 minutes, and they're never more than an hour. And we discuss programs and strategies to both attract new members as well as bring value to existing members. In normal times, we also attend ribbon cuttings. I mean, typically in normal times when we're in person, there are 3 to 4 ribbon cuttings a month, and we try to get members of our committee as well as the ambassadors to attend those. So that's something that's that we do, along with touch points, I'll call them, to members, and that has changed over the years. Years ago, we were typically calling members basically collection calls when they were past due, and then we changed that strategy a few years ago and started calling people a few months before they renew. And now we're trying to call them much earlier. We're calling them in the middle of their experience. We don't want to wait till it's too late, and just to touch base with them to see how things are going and so forth. Again, trying to bring value, to their membership. So that's what we do. We work with the ambassadors. As I said earlier, it's been a good experience for me, again, particularly when we're in person and when we're attending, as I said, ribbon cuttings, because it exposes me and brings me to places that I've never been before. There's the lunches and there's that we go to, and they're typically either here at Turf Valley or at the Sheraton or at the Hilton or so forth. But the ribbon cuttings for me bring me to other businesses that as I said, I probably would never have seen before. Morgan, that's it, unless there's something else you think I've missed or should discuss.
No, Pete, I think that is wonderful. No, I think that was a great point of the ribbon cuttings and really getting out there in the community and meeting new people and going to new places. So I think that's great. Any questions for the first couple? We're doing all right? All right. Then moving on, we have our marketing committee with Natalie. You go, girl.
Take off, unmute myself this time.
Got it.
Good morning again, everyone. I know that I heard a little birdie said that they were the best committee, but I don't know about that. I think marketing is the best committee, of course, because we're the strategists. We are comprised of very dedicated members who sit down at least once a month, more so like twice or 3 times a month, but once a month, definitely for about an hour. And we discuss the strategies for the chamber. So we're the ones that actually work with the executive committee and the president, Leonardo, and the staff. And we help craft the content that goes out into the public, just to bring members in, to bring engagement in, to actually execute our mission, which is to engage and advocate and the legislation of the businesses in Howard County. We support that mission by coming up with marketing tactics that we share with Morgan. And so it's a give and take. It's a communication between the staff and the committee. We love what we do. We write, we create. And if you're interested in doing that, please come join us.
Thank you, Natalie. You guys do the strategy and we love you for it. It's really a lot of great stuff has come, even for the short time period that I've been here. I know that I see emails come through from Natalie with all these great ideas. So we're lucky to have you. All right. Any questions? We're good? All right. Next, we have our legislative committee with Cheryl.
Hi again, good morning. So yes, Natalie, I said I think this was the best committee, but I know marketing sounded pretty exciting as well. So I'll check that out with you at some point. The legislative committee, I believe, is a very important committee because we're one of the arms of the missions of the chamber. We advocate for policy that impacts your day-to-day business. If you've ever wondered as a business owner why you have to comply with a certain law, why you have to do something, if you've ever wondered how they create laws, this is the committee for you, because we get behind the scenes, we talk with legislatures, we meet with legislatures, we meet on a monthly basis. We have a very active committee, so active that we have had to divide it into 4 subcommittees. We all meet together, but we have subcommittee chairs because each area is very specialized in the area of law or legislation that we are tracking. So the 4 subcommittees that we have, one is business and operations, second is environmental and land use, third is education and workforce development, and my favorite is labor and employment. So if you have any interest or you are in a business that these areas impact you specifically, you have an opportunity not only to be a part of the legislative committee as a whole, but you can join a subcommittee, and that's an even smaller group of individuals who are passionate about that area, or maybe you're an expert in that area. And you learn really from the beginning of when laws are introduced, either in Annapolis, we just finished session in Annapolis, or even at the Howard County Council level, Board of Ed level, zoning. So we have a lot of activity on our monthly meetings. In addition to the monthly meetings, you may have subcommittee meetings because you may be tracking legislation that is important and you may want to look at that with your subcommittee. We also, the chamber hosts the legislative updates, I think twice a year, and Morgan may correct me on that, but I want to make sure that the legislative updates, we have our regs and eggs update coming up, which will summarize kind of what happened in Annapolis this past session. But I think, as a member of the chamber, advocacy for our business owners tracking legislation that impacts you is so important. And we want to make sure that you will have a voice at every level. And if there's something that you're passionate about, then absolutely join our committee. We are happy to have you. And I think I covered pretty much everything. So reach out to me if you have any specific questions.
No, that was great. And you covered everything really well. So yes, our legislative update is coming up very soon. And I will certainly, at the end, I'll put in the chat our events page so you can kind of see all the upcoming events that we have going on as well. I think that's a really good thing to take a peek at just because we do so many programs going through that. But I'll go ahead and go next to our GovConnects Advisory Council by Gina.
Thank you. Okay, GovConnects brings together our private sector businesses with each other, with the government, and with research and academia in areas such as cybersecurity, intelligence, and defense. And our advisory council members include individuals from small and large government contracting firms. We have academia, we have government agencies, and also not-for-profit organizations. And the goal is to bring together our unique knowledge and skills so we can work together with the chamber staff in establishing and evaluating GovConnect programs. So the advisory council meets on the last Tuesday of the month for 2 hours. And then council members are expected to attend at least 8 of our advisory council meetings. And we try to meet every month. So between 10 to 12 meetings a year. And then we ask that they participate in at least one of our 6 committees or on a special task force. And our committees are listed on the slide, and they typically also meet once a month at a mutually agreed upon time. And then they're responsible for providing direction to the overall council in their respective areas. And you can see there's some pretty dynamic leaders in each of those committee areas. The other thing that we believe is that it's really critical for our council members to attend GovConnect programs and events, because it's important for us to know and see, if we're really benefiting our members or how we might need to adjust or change. And we learn that really from attending the events ourselves. I think the best advice I could give new members is to really, participate, figure out what it is you want to gain from your chamber membership, whether it's government, legislation, meeting other companies, and then actively participate in groups or sessions that help you achieve your goal. For me, being active in GovConnects has allowed me to meet potential partners and customers, both in the government and commercial arenas. I've been able to express my opinion on local policies and legislation, and it's just been really beneficial overall to the company. So what I found is you get out of your membership what you put into it, so be active. Anything else, Morgan?
No, Gina, I think that was right on the nose. That was perfect. Any questions? Still, I want to kind of ask throughout and make sure everybody is good to go. But no, that was perfect. Next, we have our Young Professionals Network, YPN, and Nick, it's on you.
Good morning. Good morning. Again, my name is Nick Barrick, and I am the chair of the YPN Network, also known as the Young Professionals Network. So Morgan had asked me to speak today, so I put together about 35 slides in a presentation, but she cut me down to 1. So we'll have to go with what we have up there. So essentially, YPN, we're a board made up of young professionals from all over Howard County. The board is currently 12 members strong, but by the bylaws, we're allowed to increase up to 18 total. Like the main chamber, we operate on a June 1st to May 31st schedule, with the executive team elections occurring around the April-May timeframe. Our mission at YPN is, simply put, is to help young professionals grow in their careers. How we do that is hosting network mixers, small webinars, workshops, and new coming this year is an all-day workshop called the YP Summit. The YPN board is always looking for new board members and new committee members who are interested in furthering their network and helping to further the YPN and the chamber causes. I'll say if any of you are interested or know someone who's interested in getting involved, feel free to reach out to myself or anyone in the chamber staff for more information. The word young in our title is definitely relative. There is no age cutoff. So young is what you define yourself as young. So we welcome all ages into the YPN. And actually in a lot of our events, we try to get all age ranges from entry level all the way out to our seasoned veterans to join our events for networking. The more diversity we have in our group, the better your networking experience will be. Our board is organized into committees. So the events committee focuses on the 6 networking mixers that we hold every year. The Accelerate committee is focused on our 4 smaller workshops that is centered around a particular topic to help those skills for a young professional. Could be from how to network through negotiation tactics or any other topics. Our marketing committee is simply that, marketing our events through all our different social media outlets and everything like that. The sponsorship committee serves as the liaison between our YPN sponsors and the board, as well as looks for new sponsors for YPN. The YPN has 6 slots for sponsors, 6 mixers, 6 sponsors. So each of our mixers that we have each year is focused on a particular sponsor. So a quick plug for sponsorship. We do have sponsorship spots still available. Let me know or let the chamber know if you're interested and we can get you more information. The last committee is the YPN Summit Committee. Again, this is a fairly new committee. This was supposed to happen during this last year during COVID, but because of COVID, we did have to push it back. So now the first annual summit will be this September. So please look for that and let us know if you have need more information. Benefits, really, I could probably go on for a while about this, but I'll keep it pretty short. The biggest benefit is exposure, just like Morgan had said. And I mean this in a couple ways. First, for many of our members, it's the first time working on a board itself. It gives you that exposure to working on a actual working board with committees and that basic interaction of how that works. It gives you the platform to kind of learn how that happens, that then you can move on to becoming active in other organizations and potentially being on other boards. Secondly, it gives you the exposure to other people within the county. Could be young professionals or could be the more seasoned veterans, as I'll put it. Our typical pre-COVID mixers see around 100 to 150 young professionals at the event. Being on the board gives you a different kind of exposure when you attend those events. People tend to remember your name when you interact with them. So it does help further your networking beyond just simply attending the events. It also gives you the exposure to the main chamber board, which is comprised of, really, I'll call them our great leaders within our community. Personally, I've made countless friendships and business relationships that have helped me since I've been involved. Again, I've been involved with YPN for 8 years total. I've been on the board for 6 years now. And I can't recommend getting involved enough, even if it's being on a committee as a committee member. So definitely, if you want any more information, reach out to myself or the chamber, and they can get you connected with myself or Mark Cruz, who is our vice chair.
That was excellent. Thank you, Nick. And next time you want to send me slides, go right ahead. I'll take them. But no, that was great. All right. Any questions before we're moving on? All right. Next, we have Flora with our signature event committee. And I just realized I'm missing your name. So I'm so sorry. I'll add that in there before I send it out to everyone.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Morgan. I noticed that too, so I appreciate it.
Yes,
Thank you so
definitely.
much. So basically, you can see that the chamber affords so many committee opportunities. So you can hone in on your strengths and make the best decision on what committee you'd like to join. So that being said, events is perfect for me. It's been just absolutely terrific dealing with events, which is also a very fun committee. The signature event I have chaired. I chaired last year and I'm chairing this year. And it is one of the largest events that the chamber has, which is important. Again, when we talk about exposure, this has afforded me a lot of exposure as well, as far as business, and which has been terrific through my years of being a chamber member, but also personally as well. So as far as the signature event, again, very important event that we hold every year. This year obviously was a bit of a challenge with COVID, but I think we did a pretty good job of it, and I'll talk a little bit more when we talk about the holiday party as well. But basically, this is where we have a wonderful dinner at Turf Valley, and then we also honor our ACE award, our ACE awards. So this is obviously very important. We start planning in February, monthly meetings, and then we basically see how often we need to continue that as it gets a little closer. Sometimes we need to meet a little bit more frequently because there are a lot of things to consider, as you can imagine. It's a huge event, so there's a lot of planning that is involved. But that being said, don't let that scare you. We have an incredible staff, chamber staff that is there to support us every step of the way. So I would encourage you, if you do like to handle events or deal with events, that this is a great place to be. So as the time commitment can be anywhere from 2 to 3 hours a month. And again, as I said, it does increase. So I think that's pretty much it as far as the signature event, Morgan. I don't know if there's something that you'd like to add.
No, that's perfect. We can go into the holiday party, jingle
Okay.
mingle.
Wonderful. So because of COVID, what we did last year is we combined the signature event with the holiday party. And it was quite a challenge. I mean, we went the full gambit as far as planning, and started in one direction and ended up in another direction, which was totally fabulous. So again, basically, this is another great place to be if you are an events person and you don't want to do with the signature event. The holiday party is a great place to be. So you have, again, the wonderful staff, chamber staff that helps you every step of the way. We did, because of COVID, we did a virtual event this year. Obviously, hopefully this year we'll be able to do it live. We'll see what the future holds for us. But again, lots of planning with this. We do start in July, so we're not quite there yet. And then again, with all events, it just depends on what is needed and how often we do have to meet as as the event gets a little bit closer. But as far as, personal benefits to me, again, and I did mention this before, is that not only professionally, it has been, being a member of the chamber has just been terrific as far as helping me with increasing my business, but also personally, the friendships, relationships that I have developed throughout the years have just been fabulous. And it's, as I said, there's nothing that I have to think about when I need to rejoin. It's just automatic. So thank you. And I hope that you'll join some of the events, the event committees with us.
Definitely. Thank you, Flora. And as she mentioned, for the jingle mingle, they don't typically start until July. So if this is something of interest, there's still time to kind of jump in and participate. And we'll go ahead a little later on about kind of when we do start kind of creating our teams for specific events, and how we do try to almost have a call for help during those different programs. But the holiday party is still yet to come, and it is a great event. Last year, I couldn't believe, I was brand new at the time, and I couldn't believe what they pulled off. It was really awesome. But next, we're going to have Leonardo talk a little bit about our chamber conferences. And as I said, kind of when those joining periods are for those. So thanks, Leonardo.
Thank you. And so, as you can see, the chamber hosts a number of different programs and events and activities throughout the course of the year. But 3 of our, I guess, really significant events are our conferences. And so we do 3 conferences. The third of, and you heard Nick touch on this as it relates to our newest one, which is our YPN Summit, which actually the date is going to be in early September. And specifically, that date is set for, I think, the 15th of September. But our women's conference is led by Lisa Anderson, who is the chair. And that's another one that, as we've garnered more success and the years have passed with the conference, we've added subcommittees. And part of it is to allow us to get more work done and not necessarily end up being in a place where we have a planning committee that's now, say, 20 some odd people, and we really can't get anything done because it's just too many people, too many cooks in the kitchen. And so we ultimately have, as you can see here, I think there's 5 subcommittees. The program committee, which basically deals with what does the program look like. It handles our call for action in terms of, not call for action, but our call for speakers and so forth. And that's really pretty solid and robust committee in terms of the work and responsibility that they have to do. The sponsorship committee is really what it says. It's helping us continue to generate sponsors, exhibitors. Marketing is, again, how do we expand the reach of the event? Logistics gets into, again, making sure that everyone has a great day and that things run smoothly. Particularly this year, that committee is really working hard because we've decided early on to make the event virtual. And so we're looking at various platforms, again, to make sure that we're able to continue to have exhibit opportunities, networking, and so forth. And then the last one, which is also major, is professional development. For those of you that have to have different CEUs for your professional licensures, last year, one of the things that we offered for the first time was an opportunity to self-certify. So we made sure that each speaker, as an example, that their presentations and subject matter would be approved by authorities such as SHRM or the CPA Association, et cetera. So we've got a committee specifically charged with making sure that our content is approved by various licensing boards. And so we'll look at adding additional subcommittee members and so forth in October, as you see here. Cyber Conference is probably our oldest conference. Now this year will be its 10th year. Officially the 10th year, 11th year that we've been doing it. Last year, we technically missed a year and had to change the format. Mike Finkel from SparkSoft is the chair there. And again, the whole idea is really to look at how cyber is impacting our community, our businesses. The focus this year is on risk management. It's going to be September 1st when that conference takes place. And we'll be at Meriwether Post Pavilion. So that should definitely tell you what an interesting event it's going to be. The fact that we're going to be able to have it outside, but yet still be able to have it in person with a virtual option. And so stay tuned for that. And then again, the YPN Summit, which I think really what the YPN Summit will do is, in essence, take a lot of the things that have been discussed at the Celebrate series in terms of professional and personal growth and development, marry it with the networking that takes place with the YPN mixers, and then really roll it up all together and tie it together with also the way that YPN talks about community involvement. And so really looking at how do you continue to grow both professionally, personally, and how do you contribute to your community as well? And so that's our chamber conferences.
Excellent. Thank you, Leonardo. All right. And then next, I'm going to just kind of briefly touch on a few different future committees that we are interested in one day having, if we can, have the interest there, find somebody that would possibly want to lead these, and then really build some content around them. So the first is the Health and Wellness Committee. And this is really because, as we've learned with COVID, health and wellness is one of those things that drives us and that we really need to start focusing on, especially when times are hard. We can't forget about, taking care of us and taking care of others. And we do have a lot of members that are within that health and wellness medical fields that we think that this would be a great potential, basically with content focusing around how organizations can bring health and wellness things to their organizations and to their communities, and how that needs to stay kind of on the top of importance, because you don't want employees to feel run down, burnt out, not want to come back to work, especially as we go through this transition, also coming from working from home and then into the office, and what that 50-50 remote lifestyle might be like. So we really think that this would be a really great committee to have. Then, of course, our Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee. This is something that we would love to create. We're kind of looking at different partners right now where we have a multicultural summit each year. So we're hoping that with that, we can really see what we're missing and what we might need to create a committee like this, and what the goals of it would be, and what content we would basically bring into the chamber, and what we could also have to kind of build our diversity within the chamber, and how can we get more people involved, and how do we do outreach. So I think that that's also a great committee that is in the forefront. And then lastly, we have our Economic Development Committee, and this is something that we're thinking about for all those that are really within the Howard County area that love economic development. It really would tie in closely to the legislative, but just have its own kind of spin where they talk about the development and redevelopment within the Howard County area. So if anybody thinks one of those sound amazing and would really want to kind of have that be a passion project of theirs where they might want to lead it or become more involved, please let me know. We would love to kind of expand and really have more people kind of get involved in that kind of sense. So yeah. Next, these are just tips that we wanted to always have, since I know we have a lot of new members basically looking to join committees, but these are just our tips that we always talk about in our new member orientation, but they're always great information to have, is to get involved, participate, take advantage. We do have a lot of discounts and promotions once you become a member within our member portal and on our website. Keep us informed. So if you receive an award, if you receive an accolade, if you have a press release, we want to basically celebrate you, share that information. We also want you to utilize all the resources that we have. You have heard from all of our co-chairs and our chairs of different committees. I think that they all have touched on at least one, if not multiple of these things. So you can just see there basically how important it is to become involved. And then lastly, your points of contacts for all of these different committees is listed here. This will go out with our information. So please don't feel like you have to write this down. I'll send this presentation to those that joined. But for the Ambassador and Membership Committee, I would be your contact. For Marketing, Legislation, and GovConnects, Leonardo would be your contact. And then for the Young Professionals, right now, that contact is Alex Sullivan, but later on it will be Taylor. She's on maternity leave, but will hopefully join us back early June. And then the Events Committee, it's kind of a similar thing with that. It's Lynn Song for right now, and then Taylor also is really involved in those committees as well. So that's kind of the end there. I'm going to open it up if there are any questions at all at this time from anybody that's